Hi there, this is Sean Wilson from Epicenter Cycling. Today we're talking about the Trek E-Caliber full suspension mountain bike. This is the newest electric assist mountain bike Trek has come out with. We call it a cross-country mountain bike. It's similar concept to the Super Caliber that we have from Trek. This one's got the motor. It's the Fazua Motor. So if you're looking for a really fun, fast bike for riding off-road, you're not riding crazy technical downhills, you're not hucking big jumps, you just want to get out and have fun on the trail, you're going to ride fire roads, flowy, single track, this is the bike. This bike is 10 pounds lighter, at least 10 pounds lighter than the Trek Rail. The Trek Rail is designed for the rider riding more technical, wanting the most confidence in the downhill. This rider is looking for something a little lighter with a little bit of help. It uses the Fazua motor. The Fazua motor is very small, very smooth, very quiet. It's integrated in the bottom bracket. We call that the mid-drive system. The motor and the battery actually pops out if you wish to ride this without the assist. So let's say you have a group of friends, they don't have e-bikes, and you want to go ride with them, you can just remove this. There's a plug that you can put in there that will cover the hole and act as a storage compartment. You could throw your lunch in there and sandwich in there. So you have the option. The battery and motor weighs about 6 to 7 pounds. So you can save that weight if you're riding without the assist. All right, so the Fazua motor has up to 55 Newton meters of torque. Is it enough? I think it is. We've got a hill behind the Santa Cruz store called Miramar. It feels like a hill you'd see in San Francisco. You know, the cars struggle to get up it. And that's the first place I went with this bike and went right up the hill. So 55 Newton meters for the average rider. If you want to get out and have fun, make it up some of the steeper hills easier, 55 Newton meters is a good amount of assistance. If you're riding with the assist, which most people buy this bike, they're probably going to ride with the assist all the time because it's just that much more fun. This motor has 250 watts, peaks at 450. The battery is a 250 watt battery, which means the range will go between 18 and 50 miles on one charge. And there's a lot of variables with that, obviously, how much elevation you're going up, how much power you're putting out, which mode you're in, different settings that you can choose, the temperature, how windy it is, all that stuff can affect the range. But on average, 18 to 50 miles is what Trek says from their testing. One benefit of the E-Caliber is that it is a lot lighter than most of the electric assist full suspension mountain bikes on the market. So this model is the E-Caliber 9.6. It weighs 40 pounds, which is about 10 pounds lighter than the Trek Rail models. They also make the E-Caliber 9.8 and 9.9 with higher end components, you know, lighter wheels, lighter drivetrain. All of those components can add up to saving about 7 pounds. So you can get this bike down to 33 pounds with the motor and battery in. Pretty awesome. So the E-Caliber has 120 millimeter fork. 120 millimeters is going to give you enough confidence when it gets technical, steeper. If you do get to a steeper situation, this amount of travel for the average rider will give you a lot of confidence. This is on the 9.6 model, comes with the RockShox 35 Gold fork. Super smooth. It's a 35 millimeter diameter stanchion, which is very stiff. That gives you a lot of precision in your steering and control. The rear wheel travel is 60 millimeters. It's called the Fox ISO strut. This is a Trek design that's integrated into the frame. You can see as I push down on the seat here, you can see how it cycles through the travel. You would think 60 millimeters is not a lot, but on the trail, it feels at least 100 millimeters. So for a cross-country rider, it's enough suspension to take the edge off those harsh hits, you know, make a smoother ride, give you more traction and control. It's perfect for someone that isn't riding super technical trails. So I found it feels, the way this iso strut works, it feels like way more travel than 60 millimeters. But the shock itself, movement is 60 millimeters. You do have a little bit of flex in the frame too. So you can see as you go down through the travel, you'll see the seat stay here bend, flex a little bit. It's pretty neat in design. That's how it's engineered. The E-Caliber has a remote lockout on the handlebar for the front and rear suspension. Super easy to use. You're going to press this lever right here, and it's going to firm up both the shocks. So as I put weight into it, super firm. So if I'm doing a long sustained climb, or I'm on the road, or if I don't want the shock moving when I'm out of the saddle, you're going to press this lever here. It's also going to firm up the rear shock. So if you're out of the seat, bouncing your body weight, the rear shock's not going to move at all. Now it's really smart in how it works. It will blow through that lockout a little bit if you hit a really big bump. So if I push down real hard, you'll see the shock move a little bit, but it's not going to be bouncing on you at all. You press the top lever again here, nice and soft travel. So that's the remote lockout for both of the shocks. So the lever on the bottom is going to adjust the dropper seat post. So it's super easy. You just press the lever, sit on the front half of the seat, let go. Then the seat's all the way out of your way so you can get lower when you're going downhill. You're going to feel safer and more controlled, easier to mount and dismount the bike. When you're ready to climb, just press that lever again. You're back to your climb height. Nice and easy. You can put the seat post anywhere you want in between too. So if the trail is kind of rolling, you don't want to keep pressing the lever, you can kind of put it halfway. Super easy. The E-Caliber has the ability to take the motor and battery out with the use of a key. So you take your key, there's a keyhole in the left side of the frame here. You're going to insert the key, kind of get through all the cylinders of the locking core. You turn it all the way clockwise, and then you press up this lever right here. Now when you pull up on this lever, make sure your hand is below the battery because it's going to want to fall right out once you press this lever up. So you just grab the battery, motor pops right out. This is what it looks like. Nice and easy. This is what engages the cranks when the motor is on. So this is the piece. You're going to charge the battery right here with this port. So it comes, obviously the bike comes with the cord. You're going to plug it right in there, plug it right in the wall. Super easy. When you're ready to reinstall the battery, you're going to put the larger side at the bottom. Remember, the key is all the way clockwise. And then you're just going to pull the battery right into place. You'll kind of hear it lock in, kind of snap in. You'll hear that noise. And then you turn the key counterclockwise to secure it fully, and then you remove the key. There is a key number on this card that I recommend to take a picture of and email yourself. If you ever lose the keys, you can order keys from Abyss. This bike retails for $6,500 for a carbon bike, battery and motor. It's a really good value. The E-Caliber 9.6 is spec'd really well for the price point. It comes with really high quality Shimano hydraulic disc brakes. They use a 180 203 mil rotor, which means you're going to get a lot of power. They're not going to heat up super fast on a long downhill. The E-Caliber 9.6 comes with a Shimano 12-speed drivetrain. It has a Shimano XT derailleur with an 1151 cassette, which means you get a lot of range. The XT derailleur is pretty much the best value derailleur you can buy. It's very durable. It has a clutch built in to the derailleur, so your chain's not bouncing around. Really good drivetrain on this bike. The Cove wheels are Bontrager's cross-country wheels. They're very light. They're sturdy. They're tubeless ready. This bike already comes tubeless. If you see these black valves, that's from Bontrager. They're usually the tubeless valves. So out of the box, this bike is tubeless. You'll notice on the E-Caliber, the tires that come spec'd are really fast-rolling, low-profile knob tires. They've got bigger knobs on the side, but this is great for the all-around rider. that wants a bike that's going to roll smooth and quick on the road, nice and efficient on the fire roads, but when you're cornering, you still get a little bit of bite from the XR3 tire. So this tire, you know, if you're not doing a ton of off-road and you want a full suspension when you're on the road, this tire is going to be a great option because it's just going to roll smooth and efficiently. The Trans-X seat post that comes spec'd on the 9.6 is 130 millimeters of travel. That's perfect for a cross-country rider. It has plenty of adjustment. You can get it low enough to get out of the way. And then when we do the fit, the highest point is going to be perfect for climbing. The size small comes spec'd with a 100 millimeter dropper, so we can get the fit more precise for those riders. If you're interested in purchasing the E-Caliber, there are a few accessories you might want to consider. Generally, people buy metal pedals with the bike. Some people clip into the bike, some people don't. That's just your preference. But we recommend buying a pedal that's going to withstand the abuse of riding off-road and be durable for the years to come. So we recommend like the Bontrager Line Pro pedal, the Crank Brothers Stamp pedal for platform riders. And if you want to clip in, we have a variation of pedals from Shimano and Crank Brothers that we can recommend for you. There's a spot on the frame for a water bottle cage. If you, a lot of people will pick a color and kind of customize their bike, so they'll mount a water bottle cage on there. So at Epicenter, when you are interested in a bike, we do a full fit process where we put you up in the stand and we make sure that the reach of the bike is perfect, your seat height, the suspension is set up. We even can look at the saddle and customize the seat for you. There's about 4 widths for each saddle to make sure you're going to be comfortable. If you're riding without bike shorts in more casual clothing, some riders will put a softer, like gel saddle on there, where other riders doing longer distances, riding in bike clothing, you're going to want to go with a stiffer foam saddle so the seat can keep the proper curvature on the longer rides. So we will customize that for you when we do the sizing and fitting process. We've had some customers buy this bike already who are wanting a bike that just has a smoother ride. So let's say you're going to ride around town majority and then sometimes ride off-road. This bike could be a good option for you because it's going to be nice and efficient around town, and when you're hitting bigger bumps on the road or light paths, the suspension will just take the edge off and make it really easier on your body. And then when you go off-road, you'll have a bike that's capable of that. So you don't necessarily have to be a mountain biker to buy a full suspension mountain bike. This could be perfect for your casual rides around town. You know, we have a lot of roads in the Monterey Bay area that are really rough, and this will be a great solution for you if you're just looking for a smoother riding bike than a pavement bike. To adjust the suspension on this bike, you will need a shock pump. This is a high pressure pump that'll make it very easy to adjust and customize for your body weight. The fork from RockShox will have a chart on the back of the left leg. So I weigh 175 pounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squat down here, and on the left side of the chart, it says the riders that weigh between 160 and 180 pounds, they recommend 105 to 115 PSI. So I'm going to start with 110 PSI. So then I'm going to take the cap off the left side of the fork here, and then I'm going to tighten this until the pump reads. So right now there's about 70 PSI. I'm going to pump this up to 110 PSI. Take the pump off. You're going to hear a little bit of air come out when you take the pump off. Don't worry about it. It's coming out of the hose, not the shock. Then you put the cap back on. Again, you're only put air on the left side. The right side, there's no air. That's all you're dampening. The rear shock, there's a valve right at the front. I'm going to take the cap off here. And this shock is going to have a higher PSI than the fork. Most of the Trek mountain bikes, we generally start around 20 PSI over your body weight. With this shock, because of the leverage design and the amount of travel, there's going to be less PSI. So I'm going to put about 20 PSI below my body weight. So I'm going to thread the pump on until the pump reads. It's got about 115 in it now. I weigh 175, so I'm going to put 155. Now, that recommendation is for the average rider. If you have a preference to have a bike that rides smoother, maybe go 5, 10 PSI below that. But that's just a starting point that I'm telling you. So you take the pump off, put the cap back on so I don't lose it. And then when the shock is in the open mode, we're going to see how much the shock goes down with this O-ring right here and this O-ring. And so what we do is we just kind of put you just sit on the bike without bouncing, and you can slide the O-ring down. And you want the shock to go down about 30% of the stroke. So you can see this amount that the shock moved is what we call the sag. They're designed to sag in when you're sitting on the bike. Okay, so that can be between 25 and 45% sag. Again, that's your preference. Same thing with the fork. That's what this O-ring's for. It's easier if someone holds the bike when you do this, so the bike shop will help you with this, but I wanted to show you that process. All right, so to turn on the Fazua system, with this model has the remote on the handlebar, so you can hold down the middle button until you see it light up, let go. The first mode that it defaults to with this white light is no assist at all. If you want some assist, you just tap that top button. Green is the lowest level, then it goes to blue, then it goes to red. That's your different tiers of assist. Okay, to go back down, you just kind of tap the bottom. It's a very light, you don't even have to depress anything, you just kind of tap it with your finger. Nice and easy. To turn it off, hold it down for a couple seconds, then you turn off the system. So this is everything you need to know about the Trek 2021 E-Caliber full suspension mountain bike. If you're looking for a pedal assist mountain bike that's lightweight, this is a great solution for you.